In this video, I want to talk about your capstone essay. This is the major research writing assignment of the course, and it's significantly longer than some of the other essays that you've done. If you watch this video early, then you will have a good chunk of time to write this. All right. This essay, is not due in this work folder, but at the end of the next work folder. So it's good for you to know that, because if for whatever reason you changed your topic from the editorial essay you did at the beginning of the course, if you did not keep the same topic, you might have to do a little bit of extra research to get enough sources to make the capstone work for your new topic. Now, sometimes that's still a good idea, because you might realize that the topic you used for the editorial essay really wasn't going to go very far after that. So some of you talked to me about that, and I think that was a good decision. Others, however, you might find yourself in the envied position of realizing that your topic from the editorial essay is still good to go, still something that you can work and use for this final version of it, if you will, the version of that essay on steroids, essays on steroids, the expanded, version of the editorial essay. And if you kept the same topic, then I believe that you've saved yourself a little bit of work. You've given yourself a chance to think about how to form, how to work with this topic you've been with, and now hopefully this assignment is something that you can do with confidence, and maybe even get it done a little bit early. But what you need to do is you need to take your topic, whether it's the one that you did your editorial essay on or a new one. This topic, preferably at the English department, prefers it to be one that allows you to look at an issue related to the topic and the different views people have on the issue. So by definition, this topic has something to it, some focused aspect to it, some subtopic, if you will, about that people argue about, that people do not necessarily always see eye to eye on. And each group might have a point or a position that they feel is warranted. That means that they feel like the definitions are right, the logic is there, the evidence is there. They might not use that language, but they feel like their position makes sense to them, and it should make sense to you. It should make sense to a larger group. This is just not a private, personal conviction. So there is a sense when you reach one of these, when you're in such a position, that you can't really understand how come other people don't get it, don't see things that you see, don't support the actions that should come out of this view. So you do get a lot of discussion about this, usually online or on TV or on the news. And you can pick such a topic, look at the different views, pick a view, present it in its larger context. So that would be your review of lit, and then move into what you believe and why, explain it. All right. And then apply it. Discuss how this can be implemented into real life, or how this can show up in real life. What we can do to act on the values and beliefs that you worked with in the middle of the paper. So that three-step process that I just outlined for you, if you will, that's the capstone project. All right. It's really 4 steps, but one of the steps is the intro, right, where you just introduce the topic, the specific, the specific topic you're working with, and then the next step is to show what other people have written or thought about it. After that, you can come in with your own view, and you can use sources in your own view, information, testimony, that are different. That's different from the ones that you use to just give a general overview of the way people are talking to each other about this. The different points, the different viewpoints. Okay, so then you would have the intro, then you develop the review of literature, the overview of the different views, and the main voices that are there. Then you segue into your position, your idea, your point, your view. You explain it, you unpack it, you support it, And then you must follow that with how do you apply it in real life? What is something we can do based on, or something that you're doing based on the beliefs that you hold? And if people as a whole aren't doing this, what should be done to help us get started doing something? Okay, so that last part is called the policy. The let's what sort of policy do we have here that leads to action? Um, and that's the capstone essay. All right. Now, if you have that in mind and you feel like you can write this, that's exactly where you should be at this point in the course. And here are some specifics that I want to see concerning the essay. Okay. It needs a 2-tier title. And if you look at some of the readings you've done to prepare for this, some of the models I presented to you, um, 2 of those have 2-tier titles. The one about the coin flipping and the one about Marge. And you can see the main title and the subtitle. All right. Um, so it needs that 2-tier title. And then after that, it needs an introduction where you can talk about your topic in a broad way, but then I would really like you to focus it. Pick something specific and manageable within the larger topic. And I think I'm hoping that you've been thinking along those lines already. After you do that, you can give me the review of literature of what people have written about the topic at large, or the specific angle that you're looking at. Now, if you provide the conversation that people are having about this for your readers, then they can see how you're going to add to that when you get to your own view. So 2-tier title, then I need to see that introduction where you give me the general topic in its general form, and then a specific version that you're working with, the review of literature, your own view. That's what follows next. And then finally, the application. Okay, then I need a works cited section. Let's do MLA and go ahead and have AI do this, or have, I don't know, just use whatever you can to get this right. I think that mirrors, for bibliographic work, that mirrors what happens in the publishing world. I mean, very few people have the manuals memorized. We just ask, programs to give us the right works cited. Okay, let's keep this between us. But I'm fine if you do that for the works cited. Now, as you write your essay, you need to write that. This essay is going to be turned in through the settings will have it so that the Blackboard or Canvas or whatever LMS we're using will check to make sure that you aren't just lifting passages from the internet, or it's not AI written. So please spend time to actually write this. And then I need, the works cited. Let's go ahead and do MLA. All right. The word count needs to be 2,500 words. Okay. Now I'm going to allow you. Can't believe this. I'm going to allow you to go ahead and use the works cited as well. Okay. To make it maybe a little easier for you. At the very end of the essay, after the works cited, you can put the word count. All right. And I need you to use at least 6 sources that you are citing in the essay. Now, as far as like quotations and paraphrases, of the 6 sources, 2, you need to have at least 2 quotations. I just need to be able to see that you're using quotation marks correctly and that you're using in-text citation. That is, as you're writing and using the source in your paper and you cite it, you cite a quotation. After the last quotation marks, you use the parentheses and you put the source name and the page number, and you finish up with the period after the parentheses. Now, there are a lot of things that can kind of go sideways on this when you do in-text citation. The most common one by far is students quote something, put a period at the end of the quote, and then put the parentheses, and either put another period or just let it hang there. MLA and APA both have you put the final period of everything after the closing parentheses. So it would be quote, open parentheses, last name of author, page number, closing parentheses, period. Okay. Now, your handbook has a pretty good section on this. If you would just open that up, you can see sample papers, and you can also see in-text citation and that sort of thing. You can see samples in the MLA section of it. Okay. So you can also just go onto YouTube or Google and ask about this, and you'll get plenty of answers to show you how to do it. Just make sure that you're looking at the current issue of MLA, the MLA guide, Modern Language Association. So let's review quickly. I need two-tier title. I need an intro where I get the general topic, the specific topic. I need the review of lit. Then I need your own view. All right, now you can begin your own view by giving sort of an outline of what you're going to do, and then just go do it. Just unpack it. Just explain it. All your reasons why you believe what you believe. And then I need the application part where you try to say, now that I have this view, this is what I believe we should do about it. This is how we can bring it to life, real life application. And then I need the works cited page section. If you're just copying and pasting this into the submission field, then just the section. And by the way, if you're doing that, then you don't need page numbers, okay, or to double space. That's all in the past in terms of digital submission. Okay, now if you're actually writing a Word file and then submitting that, then I'll need page numbers and that sort of thing. You can double space if you wish. The only reason we had double spacing in the past was for us to write between the lines, but now we have comment functions, and we don't need the double spacing. So after you finish your actual essay and you finish the part on the policy, okay, then I need the works cited section, and then I need a word count.